Okay, let's do task 1.2. This is a nice one. This is one I think you need to ace and get everything right. So I'm going to do it the old school way and use double entry for it because I still think students should be using double entry for a lot of these ideas, right? So here we are. I'm going to create the T accounts, the relevant T accounts that you need for this to do this, and I'm going to put these here. Okay, so here's the actual profit account. And in that profit account, you have a total, they tell you, of 71,460. Now, the question tells you that their events somewhat change throughout in the middle of the year. So they're telling you, aren't they, that from the 1st of April 20 to the 31st of July 20, they do things differently. And then things change again from the 1st of August 20 to the 31st of March 21. So there's two events happening. You can see the question tells you, right? So the first thing we need to do, of course, is to sort of split this profit here into two parts. And there's 4 months here, isn't this? This is 4 months. And this is 8 months. So task 1, I'm going to say 4 over 12 times 71,460, right? And that's 8 over 12 times 71,460. So I can close this profit account. So 4/12 of 71,460 is 23,820, right? That's 23,820. So I'm going to debit this profit account here and put it in this profit account. I mean, this is still a profit account. I'm just creating two profit accounts now, right? And then the difference, of course, is the 8 over 12 times that, which takes us to 47,640. So this is the big one. I've just split everything up into two parts, right? Hope that's sort of clear. So this can close. This can close. This is now done. 71,460, 71,460. This is done. Just going to change my pen color just to give this some variety. Now, the first question says that in the first 4 months of the year, they just split the salary in the ratio 3:1. So there is no, I'm going to call this here Dan. I'm going to call this Nick. These are their capital accounts, right? Or their, well, current accounts. So he just says that there's nothing. That's all. Split this 3:1. So you split this 3:1. So that's take this, of course, in the ratio 3:1. Divided by 4, and then just whatever your ratio analysis method, I'll leave that to you. So if you basically, I'm going to take a quarter of that, and a quarter of that, and 3/4 of that is ultimately what I'm really doing here. So a quarter of 23,820 is 5,955, and 3/4 of that is 17,865. Right? And that's that. So, I mean, this is my first journal. So I'm debiting this profit account and putting that in Nick's account, 5,955. And then this is the 17,865. Right? So that's really the same thing here. Sort of Dan gets 17,865 and Nick, gets 5,955. But this is the double entry. So this closes 23,820. 23,820. It's done now. So we're now interested in the final 8 months of the year. The question says that they get the first point, forgive me, is salaries. I'll just change my pen color so we can manage that differently. Be careful of this. Remember, this is annual. So this salary of 9,000 and this of 4,000 is annual. But you only have 8 months in the year. So it's really important to get that first. 8 over 12, 8 over 12 times whatever salary it is. So Dan is getting 9,000 and this guy is getting 4,500. So when you do that first, you will see that your salaries are actually 6K and 3K. So if I do the double entry, of course, so that's debit this profit account of 6K and credit Dan with 6,000 and credit Nick with 3,000. So that's sort of the Dan 6,000, and then you have 3,000 there. Just change my pen color again. Then the next task tells us to look at interest, and if we look at interest again, we can't forget the fact that these are annual figures, these are annual interest amounts, right? So what we are saying, of course, for Dan, first of all, is that we're looking at 3% times 15,000, because that's his capital, but only for 8 months, right? And for Nick, we are looking at 2% times 6,000, and we're looking at 8 months. And then when we do that, we have 300 and we have 80. So I'm debiting 300 here, and I'm giving 300 to Dan, sorry, and I'm giving 80 to Nick. So that's, here you have interest here, 300, and here you have 80. So the question here is whatever's left in this account can now be split in the ratio 65% and 35%, right? And what is left in this account is 38,000. When you say 47, take all this away, you get a difference of 38,260, right? That's what would be left in there. So you can now split that, of course, in according to that ratio, 65%. When you do that, you will get, you will get figures of 24,869. So I'm going to do that, and I'm also going to put here 24,869, and then of course the remaining difference, of course, was I'm just going to write it here just because there's no space. 13,391, and then that's 13,391. So this account now closes. This account, it closes, right? It's done. 47,640, and I'll have the same thing over there. So finally, just chucking those in there. For Dan, I have 24,869, and I have 13,391, right? And that's how that would work. So I think it's important to be comfortable with a double entry, of course, because who knows what you're going to get given. I think it's important to do that. Right here, you will refer to the tables to guide you. And literally what we are literally doing is, again, you can see that you have the benchmark, don't you? When you look at the table, the benchmark is 9,500. You are literally just looking at the table. I don't think you have to cram this, and so you can see that we are multiplying these. The bulk of this, of course, gets multiplied at 9%. These are marginal rates, so what does that mean? So this bit gets 9%, and anything above this, every pound above this, gets taxed at 2%, right? So that's what you're doing. So when you do that here, you should get 3,645, and here you should get 171 pounds and 20. All right, so that's how you deal. This is class 4. So remember, class 4 is a national insurance for sole traders. Also, traders will pay this on their trading profits. Yes, on their trading profits. Okay, you can see on there taxable profits, taxable trading profits. Okay, great stuff, and that's 1.2.